Hi, I'm E. Renoy, and I'm here to chit chat, so to speak. Okay, if I'm looking a little buzzed to you, I am, because I believe that cannabis is a gift from the higher powers. I don't care who your higher power is, and it helps us. And so, because our bodies have tons of cannabinoids, and this plant is full of cannabinoids, we hook up and we're ready to go. And there's nothing stronger than a weed, because a weed is what comes to heal the ground as soon as you disturb it. Catch my drift? This plant, this little plant, just wants to help us. So get over that stuff and start enjoying, folks. Anyway, I have a lot of funny things to tell you. I am 73, going on 37, and I'm just having a great time. I'm broke as hell, and I am strong, physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong, and I'm gonna start talking to everybody, mainly to my own boomers, but for those who want to learn ahead of time, like my grandson and we have intense talks, mostly about spirituality, because I'm not a religious person. I will get into that another time. But anyway, for right now, I want to have fun with you guys, and I want to tell you some things that I think is pretty crazy stuff. I have been a pagan for a long time. Now, if you're going to switch off, now's the time to do it, because from here on in, it's going to be mostly what's happened to me because of my oneness with everything. Um, I have had people tell me, I tell them stuff that it's just coming out of my mouth because I have no control over that. And they'll say to me, "Stop saying stuff, E, you're making it happen." And then I'm like, "Really? I can prove you wrong. Watch this. I'm going to win the pot on the lotto this weekend." Uh-oh. Has that ever happened? No. But all that other stuff did. Okay? So, and I will try to have some of these folks that this happened to with me. I'm going to try and have them come on and give you a little back information on it, because I think you'll find it interesting. But anyway, I'm here for the light workers. It's time. We got stuff to do. And I'm going to direct you over to another site that I'm going to start, where the information will lie, so that you'll be able to practice what we need to practice so we can start healing the earth. I'm going to try to enlighten you folks as to never give up. Never, never, never give up. Keep going. And I went back to school when I was 68. I graduated in December of 2019. I became a college graduate. And I got my associate's degree. I wanted to go back. I wanted to get a job, pay off my student loan, get a car, and start my life again. Then the pandemic struck. Oh my God. And of course, I am in the age group that is the worst of the worst, the most susceptible, as are a lot of you. And I'm like, what am I going to do? You know what I did? I turned it all over to my higher power. I said, okay, everything is happening here for a reason. I need to find it, obviously. And so here we go. I found it. I found a lot of reasons. First of all, it is that we have become unrecognizable to each other with being mean spirited. We don't need to be mean spirited. We have the power only when we're doing good. We are so powerful when we are caring and loving and empathetic and compassionate with each other. That's when things start to grow. And I can show you that by your own plants. If you're kind to them, if you talk to them, if you love them, if you water them, if you even touch them, they respond. Your animals, your animals will love you more than anyone will ever love you, because their love is pure. But we need to get back to the garden. We do. And I believe the garden is through unified consciousness. Oh boy, if I can get this out there. The unified field is it. Now, the thing is, what we have to do, this is a dangerous field to get into, because if we know it, if the good guys know it, so do the bad guys. Okay? What we need to do is stay in the light. You have to stay in the light, always. No matter what your religion is, understand that true power is with your highest power, whatever you're calling it. And I'm not putting a name on anybody or anything. I just want us all to be kind to each other and understand each other and love each other if it's possible. If that's possible. If not, at least let's like each other. Okay, so here we go. So let me tell you a funny story. I am a knowledge junkie. I can't tell you. I mean, I'm constantly researching or finding something, which is why I went back to school so late, I guess. Because suddenly information came to me that we have a lifespan exceeding 120 years. I was like, I got more time. I'm going to school. And that's what I did. But what I didn't expect was how my mind was going to react, how my body was going to react. It was like, what are we doing? Are we going downhill or are we going back uphill? And we're going back uphill. One of the hardest subjects I had was math, and it's always been my worst subject ever. And so that was the one that I struggled with the hardest, but it also gave me a way to recognize that my brain was working differently. That's what math does. It's like it takes your weakest point, and maybe I should look at it like this. The subject that you're weakest at is the one you need to study the most, because that's the one that's going to make you excel the most. Okay. So math for me was my biggest bugaboo always in life, always. And yet in my mind, I can figure things out boom, boom, boom like that, because the numbers are moving around much like those old little puzzles we used to have, 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, so that's how it's working for me. And so, I'm sorry, I have to just get this done. So math opened up all these doors for me. And I was like, oh my God, it's making me think differently. It's making me see things differently. I'm like, wow. So as all good students do, I put on a lot of weight while I was in college. It's always the quick fix, grab something to eat and get going. And so I made up my mind that I was going to start studying other things. And I started studying diet and all that other good stuff. And all of YouTube has been a big influence in my life, because when I was in school, I was taking some classes that I had to go to YouTube to study from. And I was like, oh man, this thing is incredible. So then I started to watch Dr. Ekberg, who is a decathlon, a decathlon champion. I'll get the site for you. Anyway, he talked about the keto diet. So I lost 20 pounds and I got my knee operated on, and I lost another 45 pounds. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so much better because I'm eating better. But here's the whole thing. The thing that was really my Achilles heel here was sugar. Sugar was the thing that was keeping me back my whole life. And not only that, it was something that hurt my mom. It made my son angry. It's just crazy. So anyway, my whole life I'd been depressed. I'd been like, suicidal at times. And I'm like, I'm going to give up the sugar, because I had watched a video on that too, and how it was dangerous and this and that. Well, suddenly my mind started clearing up even more. And I'm like, oh my God. And the depression left. My mother was depressed her whole life. My mother was a big sugar addict. And so it made me weep, because I was so happy now And her whole life, she was depressed because of the damn sugar. Anyway, so I gave it up, and I feel really good, and I'm now walking 2 to 3 miles a day because that's my time to think and to be with one upstairs. I mean, that's it. So, anyway, things have happened in my life, and I want to share those with you because there are those of you out there who I know have had weird things happen, and you're afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to say it because, number one, it could happen at any moment when I'm around. And people have literally run away from me when it has. So if something's happening in the background ever, just accept it. It's part of who I am. They're there. Okay? Don't go running away because it'll make you really happy in the end. Really. I'm serious. So anyway, there are tarot readers on YouTube that are amazing. I personally listen to them because, and I have 4 of them that I listen to. Sometimes I combine them. Sometimes I just check to make sure that we're all on the same page. And some of them, and here's another reason why, because the tarot readers will all have the same message. If they're right on, if it's right on, the tarot readers will all be giving you the same message. What they will also be doing is addressing the little idiosyncrasies that are also tripping up things in your life. So that one may have knowledge of something that the other one doesn't have knowledge of. So they're like getting this information from wherever. And so that's why I do that, because somebody else is giving me a little something. It's like, okay, I got to do that too. And if they're saying you got to watch out for something, one may tell me this way and the other one will tell me that way. But what they all tell me is basically at the root of the same thing. What I have been going through and what they have been going through for the last 6 months is when they're doing this reading, I don't know about the other Leos in the world, but they're going, you have to do this. You have to do this because you are truthful and your truth is going to change the world. And I'm like, yeah, right. Me, I'm going to change the world. And I'm like, okay, look, I'll tell you what. You give me the information and I'll give it to the YouTube audience. So that's going to go up on Dragonfly's Messenger. Okay? I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because technically I'm a messenger. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you those messages that I'm getting for you to watch on YouTube, on Dragonfly's Messenger. That'll be another week or 2 before that's up. But they are validating everything that I know to be true. And that's why I know they're right on. I have known this to be true my whole life, but now I have information to prove it. The first one I'm going to send you to, though, is a Dr. Emoto, and his is Messages from the Waters. From the water. I have seen this guy for years. I've been watching this video over and over and over again because each time I'm picking up something else. So here's what's funny about this, okay? I had to go and get my real estate license. I didn't have to. I wanted to. It was just before the Great Recession, which is when I lost everything, okay? Anyway, so I'm aware of the messages in the water and how when you pray over water, you can change it. You can release the toxins in it. You're going to see it. I'm going to give you the video link. You can release the toxins in it, and the crystals that form from the water change. They actually form shape. And everything that is said, done, or put on these water bottles affects the crystals. Okay. So, in my mind, okay, I'm going, we're 70% water. I may be able to use this to help myself. So I did. So I took my real estate test. This is what happened. I went in. I called my son as I got to the place I was going to take my real estate test. And he said, okay, Mom. He said, good luck. I said, okay, this is supposedly a 2 to 3 hour test. So I go inside and I'm like really nervous. So I run to the ladies' room and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I go back in there, and once you are in the room when you start taking the test, you can't come out of there. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Well, lo and behold, the first thing that happens is they turn the computer on. I start the test. Suddenly the computer dies, freezes, and I'm not allowed out of this room, and I can't get the guy's attention. So I get up and I walk out of the room and I go, this computer is frozen and you're not going to hold me accountable for this, right? So he goes, oh, no, no, no. So I get on another computer. So I go through this test. Boom, 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 click, 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 click. I get done. I turn around and I go back through it. And I hear this voice say, don't do this. And I'm like, okay. So I come out and I came out of the room again. He goes, what happened? And I said, I'm done. He goes, what? I said, I'm done. So he goes, okay. So he comes back out of the office. He goes, you passed. I was like, cool. I have no idea what time it is. My concept of time is always out of whack. So now I'm like so excited. I get my picture taken. I get fingerprinted. I get my license. And I'm like, oh my God, I passed. And I go and I have to now go to the bathroom again because I've become so excited that I got to go all the way home. So I get back in the car and I call my son, and he goes, what's the matter, Mom? And I go, nothing, I got it. He goes, what? I said, I got my license. And he goes, it's only been 45 minutes. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, yeah, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So here's how I did that. While I was studying for this test, I took a sticky note and stuck it right here that said, real estate genius. So for 3 days, or 2 days, whatever it was a weekend, 2 days, I guess, I studied as a real estate genius and passed that 3-hour test in 45 minutes. So I know this stuff works. And I'm going to send you there because if we can do this to ourselves, to water that has come out of a place in Japan where it was so polluted that it was black, the crystals were black and distorted, and then once they were prayed over, they formed a perfect crystal again. If we can do that, we can do that for the waters of the world. If the light workers are together on this, and that's why we're here to not alter things the way we want it, but to heal what has been disrupted. Okay? So I wanted to make that clear, and this is going to be the first video, and so I'm putting on my makeup because I want you to know that even though I'm 73, I still want to get up and I still want to try and look as good as I can, and I think we owe it to ourselves to feel good. Now, if you feel good without any makeup, oh, hey, I think that's wonderful. I love that. I just like to feel like, that Leo, little lioness thing I got going on. I can't help it. It just is what it is. So this is what I do. I pretty much still do my makeup exactly the same way. I have always done it. And I always swore I wouldn't do that as I grew older. But you know what? I don't care now. I have reached the age of I don't care, which also translates into I don't give a, you know what. Anyway, so I'm also a proponent of getting your medical marijuana license, mostly because the cannabinoids and like I said, they now find, I didn't know if I said that in this video. Okay. Science has found that cannabis and hemp may be the answer to the COVID problem. Now, if that's the case, and we could mandate that everybody in the world had to get high, I'm all for it. I will do that. And in that field, that's where we become unified, and that's where we start healing. That's what I believe. That's what I know in my heart is the truth. So anyway, I have a ton of fun stories to tell you that have happened throughout my life. And I will try to have the people that are fully aware or who it has happened to with me validate it if they would. And if not, that's okay, because I'm all about the truth. Can't do this stuff if you're not about the truth. Because if you're a liar, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. because the universe can only deal with the truth. Okay? So anyway, so here we go. We're going to do this. I'm going to do a quick makeup thing because I got to go get my walk in. This may not be looking like the best that I want it to be, but you know what? I don't care. Also, I got to tell you something. I'm like trying like hell to get my teeth fixed. So what you're seeing here, I don't need you commenting on it. I'm already aware that there's a problem there, okay? But that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. I want to know why insurance companies, if that's the first line of defense to keeping disease out of our body, why aren't they taking care of our teeth first? Okay, anyway, here we go. So now it's time for some mascara. And that's another video, too, that we're going to talk about. And so we have to get going here. We have to get going. We cannot keep fotzing around. I can't keep fotzing around. I got to get this stuff going for you and me and the world, for our kids. I have been given videos by Native Americans that are going to scare the shit out of you. But you know what? We're down to the 12th hour. We're not even at the 11th hour anymore. We're down to the 12th hour. We have moments. We can do this. We can change it. I know we can. Let me tell you something. Whatever you're perceiving that higher being is, it's listening. Wanting to know if the children that it created will be respectful to its creations. And that's what it's all about. Are we going to be respectful to this planet? Are we going to be respectful to each other? Are we going to be kind? Because all we really need is one law. Be kind. That alone is recognizable. If you're not being kind, you're doing something wrong. That's the only law we need. Anyway, if you see somebody in the store, I do this all the time, and they got a nice outfit on, they put their time into looking good to come out into the world, tell them, hey, I appreciate that. You look great. I do. I tell people that all the time. Because I worked in a law firm years ago. I had never worked in a firm like this before. These people, when they walked in, it didn't matter how much it cost your outfit, but that you put the time and effort into looking good. Every morning, they would come by and go, you look great. Boom! I was ready. I was ready to work. We all need to do this. Okay? We all need to take care of each other. We all need to be better at this. Because if we're doing the right thing, we won't have time to be picking up the crap that's left behind by others. Okay, so you might not like what I'm saying, and you might not like the way I look, but tough. I don't care. And if you want to leave a nasty comment, that's okay too. Because it's not going to bother me, and I don't care. What I care about now is getting us together to save the freaking planet. And Greta Thunberg, if you want to make a donation, get it to her. Because she's going to get that money where it needs to be to get this thing going. Also, you know, if you want to make donations to animals, I think that would be great. I don't want anything from you. I just want you to do the right thing. That's all. Okay? That's it. We need to do this together or we're gone. I'm not kidding. And I have friends, like I said, who have told me, stop saying things, E. You're making them happen. Really? I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. So, on a lighter note, we also need to bring that up. Laughter, joy, happiness makes us do better. So while we're getting our way, here's a thought. And here's something we could all do right now. Okay? With these volcanoes opening up out there in the Pacific, and with them, you know, spewing all this stuff and causing tsunamis and stuff, this water is coming towards the lands. How about we try right now, today, focusing on this water picking up all that plastic and shoving it right back into the land. How about that? That would show these leaders and the other people in the world that we mean business. And yes, we can do this collectively with our intellect, with our minds, because that's where our energy lies. Okay? With our heart, this is for emotion. If we invoke that into this, we're home free. If we love the earth enough. So let's start doing that today. Let's start seeing every time there's a wave coming in or let's watch how it's moving. Let's bring that plastic back home, baby. It's easier to get it out when it's coming up on the land because it's going to keep coming up on the land until we do something about it. I have stopped buying bottled water. I'm trying to tweak something all the time because we have to do this. What did we do in the world before we had plastic? We did stuff without the plastic. And we have knowledge now, too, of what was bad for us. And we have knowledge now of what is natural and what we can make things out of that will be biodegradable. And so that's what we have to focus on. We have to focus on things being biodegradable, going back to the earth, not just being biodegradable. How about them feeding the earth too? Like, let's have it give back. Like if we took the paper from the trees fall, baby trees grow up from the earth. They become part of the earth. The trees then rise again, okay? What we need to do is that paper that we're using, that has to be less chemicals, more biodegradable. So we can get a box. We don't have to recycle it. We can chop that baby up and put it in the garden or in a mulch pile. But that's what we need to be doing. There are farmers on YouTube that can show us how to farm for hundreds of years on the same piece of property and not deplete it of its nutrients. When I saw this one guy on YouTube, I was like, oh my God, why aren't we doing this? Okay, so here we go. Like I said, I'm going to send you over there to Dragonfly's Messenger when it's up. Again, I don't know. That one might be for, income at some point because I would like to give that money back to the earth for, if it ever makes money, for earth repair and for human repair. We need to help each other here. So that's a biggie. That's another biggie that we need to talk about. Anyway, I'm almost done with my makeup, and then I'm going to take a walk. I might take you for a walk with me. I don't know. I mean, it might be another day. This is just going to be my breakout YouTube video for you. Although I did post some ghost things yesterday. And they're here. They may show up at any time. I'm not kidding. You'll find an orb or a wispy thing going by in the background or something's going to, or even a shadow. Listen, I have a shadow figure here. So, don't doubt your senses. Never doubt your senses. Oh, and that's another thing. One other thing. And then I'll be on my way. The reason why animals are not intentionally vindictive before they even know you is because they use their senses. Now, if they have become vindictive towards you, something's wrong. Something's wrong with your chemicals. Something's not right with you. Okay, so here's the deal. So we can start to use our senses a little bit better. If you're walking into a place and somebody's not looking right, you can feel it. I came out of a restaurant one day with my girlfriend, and this guy was walking through the parking lot, and I said, don't leave me. And she goes, what? I said, see this guy coming up here on the side? She goes, and she turns her head. She goes, yeah. I said, he's going to walk the parking lot, and he's going to come right back to my car. And she said, what? And I said, watch. And he did. And he went right back to my car, and he stood there, and he waited. And we sat here, and we talked. And I didn't get in that car until he had walked out of that parking lot. it was instinct. I go by instinct because I don't hang around with a lot of humans. I hang around with a lot of animals, and I've learned a lot of lessons from them. So, anyway, we have to learn to pay attention to our what we've lost, our instincts. Now, also, that can be done through meditation, and there's a lot of meditation sites. Find your peace. I'm not going to send you to find your peace. I'm going to send you to find a place where we need to be as one to heal the earth. But the rest of them, like I'm telling you right now, you can get a meditation video on there. If they don't talk to you, change it. Okay? Also, we are energy. Every one of us is energy. And so, we vibrate at certain megahertz. Find out which ones you need. To enhance your life. And then, play them in the background while your day is going on. You're going to sleep. Just enjoy yourself while you're relaxing and come in tune and find that you are all one. When I meditate, this is what I do. I see this little white, brilliant white light that comes into my head, and it comes down through my body, and I send it to every part of my body that needs to be jolted and cleaned. And so it comes down, and if I need some help with my knee, I send it to the knee, and it goes rolling around in my knee, and then I don't have the problem again for a while. Anyway, we have so much more to utilize than we have been utilizing. We get distracted. They keep us distracted. The politicians, the news, television, movies. We got to stop the distraction and turn inward and outward to each other to change the world. And on that note, I'm going to go take my walk, and I hope that you have a blessed day, and I hope this video helped you, and peace, love, and come back. I'd like to talk to you.